Welcome back. You're watching live from Paris on France 24. It's time now for our daily dose of Media Watch. James Creedon is here. James, we're starting to talk about Greenpeace activists. They pulled quite a stunt this Monday, didn't they? They broke into some nuclear plants and then filmed it. And then they went online.
That's right, in the well-known city of Nogent-sur-Seine, 100 kilometres outside of Paris. And the whole thing, of course, was to draw attention to a lack of security, as they saw it. And it was very interesting the way they did it online. They were live, I suppose, putting videos up on their website live as the day went on. So very much using social media, etc. And it created a massive amount of debate online with a lot of politicians jumping on it, because this is actually a big election issue for next year. So here you've got Cécile Duflot. She is the National Secretary for the Green Party in France, and she was tweeting all day about it, and she got into a big row with Eric Besson, who is the Energy and Industry Minister, so he's responsible for nuclear, and she started having a big row with him on Twitter about it, saying, oh, if you say that these were peaceful people who broke in, well, if they hadn't been peaceful, it would have been a catastrophe. So she was getting her message out there very strongly. She also said that EDF, that's the energy company in France, should thank Greenpeace for a free audit which has revealed weaknesses in our nuclear power plant. A UMP guy, his tweet here got him in a lot of trouble. He's a sort of a junior UMP, I suppose, employee. And he said the police should have beaten those Greenpeace terrorists. They don't deserve any special treatment. Anyway, he was stripped of his functions by the end of the day.
A little bit harsh. Okay.
Out of job.
Now, the last place Dominique Strauss-Kahn should possibly be hanging out is the Bois de Boulogne.
That's right.
But for various reasons, but he has been, and that's got him in some more trouble, hasn't it?
That's right. Now, this is going back to 2006. Now, there is an alleged there was an alleged police check. He was allegedly stopped by the police in the Bois de Boulogne. This is a park to the west of Paris, and it's notorious for prostitution, in any case. And Claude Guéant, he's the Interior Minister, and in yesterday's Journal du Dimanche, Sunday paper here in France, he left a little sentence loose. He kind of put out there a little sentence which didn't really say anything but said everything, one of those kind of ambiguous sentences. He said, I was aware of an incident in 2006 where Dominique Strauss-Kahn was stopped by the police in the Bois de Boulogne. Now, that in itself doesn't really mean anything, except Bois de Boulogne is, as I said, synonymous with prostitution in France. And as this particular journalist is saying here in the Nouvel Observateur, he's saying, look, all you need is 3 words: Dominique Strauss-Kahn, Bois de Boulogne, and police, and it's an explosive media cocktail. That's a lot more than 3 words, by the way. But anyway, we won't get into that. So in any case, they're saying that Claude Guéant is getting down to dirty tricks and dirty tactics and trying to keep Dominique Strauss-Kahn on the ground. He's already down in the political doldrums, so let's keep him there. That's sort of the idea.
I mean, there's quite a great deal of controversy surrounding the man already. I'm not sure that we need to bring the Bois de Boulogne into it. All right, let's move on then. Let's talk about Eva Joly. Now, she's the Green candidate for next year's presidential elections, and she's actually of Norwegian origin.
That's right.
And one journalist thought he'd make fun of that.
That's right. Very funny.
How do you make fun of the Norwegians?
By phonetically spelling their accent. This is what he did anyway. So he wrote a very, very funny article for himself anyway. Patrick Buisson thought it was hilarious, where he imagined that she would win the presidential election because all the others got stuck in an elevator and died. So it's kind of, very black humour already. And so what he did then is he gave her election victory speech with a Norwegian accent. So instead of Salut la France, he had Salut la France. And instead of, Vous m'avez élu président de la République, you elected me president of the Republic, he had Vous m'avez élu présidente de la République. So he did this whole sort of I'm writing French with a Norwegian accent thing. Now, you could say that that's funny if you have a certain sense of humour that finds that funny. Or you could get very offended, as Eva Joly did, and she said that she was hurt. SOS Racism, which is an anti-racism group here in France, denounced this as scandalously racist, and others said you need to apologise. This is a form of excluding Eva Joly as just because she wasn't born in France.
I think it looks like the journalist in question has a little bit too much time on his hands,
yes,
but who knows? All right, let's move on. There's a lot of debate in France at the moment about Germany having too much control in Europe, and it's translated into the latest catchphrase, which is Germanophobia.
That's right. It's all over the press at the moment, and it all started last week with a very odd reference to Bismarck. Now he's best known for uniting the various German states in the 19th century, but in France he's remembered for the Franco-Prussian War, and he's seen as a big bad guy and the French think of him historically as a big bad wolf, basically. And Arnaud Montebourg, there's a photo of him here, socialist politician, he said that Angela Merkel is like Bismarck. And she has Bismarck-like policies regarding the euro, which is basically a criticism of her and an insult in French terminology. Now, this all gets very weird, but people are kind of saying that this has led to Germanophobia. François Fillon said the socialists are being Germanophobic. And this very right-wing he's right-leaning politician by the name of Yves Tréhard. Now, he said that this is an example of the Socialist Party having Nazi tendencies. He basically said that it reminds him of certain 19th century socialist politicians in France who said things that were sort of Germanophobic. Very weird, very kind of specific debate.
Nazis.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, it would take a lot of unpacking. But the point is that Yves Tréhard said that comparing Merkel to Bismarck is appalling and very bad behaviour. What did Yves Tréhard do in 2010? He called Merkel Bismarck in a dress.
Oh, dear.
I think that's a case of pot calling kettle black.
Oh dear.
Eve.
Short memories, Eve.
Right.
Remember what you've written.
Yeah,
Maybe you didn't
exactly.
write it at all. I don't know. All right, James Creedon with the Media
Mark.
Watch. Many thanks indeed. Well, do stay tuned to France 24. We've got more headlines coming up for you. But before that, our daily dose of web news.